What's up, Ray? It's your boy Andrew, and I think it's time for us to acknowledge the fact that there are other people who are not Ray who might be watching this. Susie, for one. That's probably it, honestly, looking at my view counts, but that's fine. What's up, non-Rays, if you're out there? Today we are going to be playing boop 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 Titanium Court. Okay, good. Looks like it is actually showing the game. Now, I tried recording like 3 times yesterday, 3 different things, and each one of them had something go wrong. And if I was religious, I would probably take that as a sign that I should just not be trying to record videos. But unfortunately for everybody on YouTube, I am a godless heathen. So yeah, this game is fucking bonkers, dude. It's ostensibly like a match 3 game, but there's like strategic elements and you're fighting enemies, and the plot is just goofy and weird as hell in a great way. Let's just get right into the meat of things, though. I think me trying to explain it will take a while. I'll just explain things as I go. So right here, we are choosing one of 3 levels that we will proceed through, and basically what we're looking at is what resources we want to stock up on for this battle. So these are my resources right here. I've got 11 water, I've got 3 food, I've got 1 wood, and 1 stone. And you need these to build defenses for a castle. You need them to be able to produce your own fighting units and people who can go and harvest more resources for you. So the thing that we're looking at here, I can collect wood with the type of class that I'm playing as currently, so I don't need to worry about choosing a level that is going to have like the woods as a bonus. It doesn't even look like there is one for this round. But you can see like right here, this is the type of environment that we're going to be fighting in. This one is unremarkable, but if I choose it, I'll get an additional 2 food when I pick it before we start getting into the meat of the fight. This one has a bunch of hills in it, so I can get 2 stone, and then I'd be able to theoretically collect more stones from the environment. And then this one is just kind of a regular environment, and again, I would get 2 stones for that. There's a shop. I'd be fighting archers and general goons. Here I'd be fighting birds and goons, and then here, birds and goons. So goons are always going to be in the mix. This is the first fight of the day, so it's going to be pretty low stakes. That being said, I don't think I want to pick the fight with archers because they will have obviously a ranged attack, and that's no good. So we're going to choose one of these 2. The shop is not going to do me much good right now because I do not have very much money. So that leaves the unremarkable map. Alright, so here we go with the grid of our environment, and what we do here is we are going to spend some time matching these tiles. It's a match 3 thing, like I said, so what you do to proceed and collect resources for the most part is to just line up 3 tiles, like this is 3 enemy castles right here, and then let go, and then boom. Get a match. Didn't get me anything because those are just like enemy outposts basically, and so there's nothing to collect from it. But if I were to, say, match these 3 wheat fields, my food went up from 5 to 6. So each time I make a move like that, this ticks down a little bit, and if I get like combinations of multiple things matching up when I move one, then it'll give me a little bit of a bonus on the time, so that's how you can kind of try to get additional time to collect more resources. The thing is that doing that also runs the risk of bringing more enemies onto the board. And so like right now, if there were any enemies in play, we would see it on the timeline here. This is like when we set the events into motion, this is going to tick down again from the top to the bottom, and so this is like a timeline, and there would be little indicators of enemies when they pop up for the round. And so you can see there aren't any of those right now, which means that none of these enemy castles are currently occupied. So we're in a good spot, and doing a bunch of reckless matches runs the risk of putting us in a bad spot and having more enemies, or any enemies, show up on the board. So it's a real dicey proposition. In addition to matching tiles, I can also move our castle, so like that, and that takes up more space than, or more time, I should say, than matching a tile would, which is understandable. You're moving an entire castle across the terrain, so understandable for sure. So that's what you can do to kind of give yourself a strategic advantage at the risk of potentially running out of time really quickly and not being able to collect all the resources that you might like to have. So let's see what would be safe. Let's do this because that gets 2 castles in a row, which lines us up for a match if need be. And then if we do this 4, that will get us 2 stone instead of 1 like we normally would get for doing a regular 3-tile match. So that's pretty good. And that gave us a bonus too. So yeah, these pink castles are all enemy fortresses, unoccupied at the moment. This tile is a chest. This little indicator here in the lower left corner indicates that there's a chest on the board, which I can't get to yet. Once we finish up with the tile matching phase, we can collect the contents of the chest, but right now we're kind of just trying to keep it on the board. Like if we match one of these tiles, if I did a match where I had like this, basically, if I tried to get rid of these 3 tiles, then that chest would be gone, and I wouldn't be able to get the resources from it. So again, something you have to do, despite it being a match 3 game, you have to match your 3 tiles very carefully. I am bad at this game. I've got 1 victory under my belt, and I've been playing for like 5 hours, and the victory that I did eke out had nothing to do with my skill as a player. The game gave me an option of like doing a big fight against the boss or listening to a musical performance by the guy that made the game. It's like a solo dev, I think. And so I chose to listen to the musical performance, and he sang a song about salmon fucking, having an orgy. So yeah, that's the kind of thing that we're dealing with when it comes to this game being weirdo shit, like I had alluded to. Alright, what do we want to do here? So we've got 8 food, that's good. We've got 13 water, very good. We'll be able to collect wood from this forest when we start events in motion. So we really should be trying to get more stones, is what I feel. So let's do that. Doing this is not likely to set up a chain reaction for as far as I can tell. Little one, but that's fine. Okay, so we got 3 chests on the board. That is quite good. I think I will move us further down, because if I do end up making a move that brings more enemy castles onto the board, it could be that one of those castles has dudes in it that will come to try to attack me. And so I think it benefits me to be as far away from that as possible, just in case. And so we've got like maybe 1 or 2 matches left. What should we do? Let's... Can't match any stones. Let's try to see. It doesn't look like we have any matches for wheat. So let's just do this water. Okay. Yeah, 1 more move. Well, I'll show you. We'll see potentially how things can go bad when I do this. Yeah, okay, that was fine. Alright, so match time is over. Now we're into the battle. Luckily, still no enemies on the board, so we don't have to worry about fending off hostile forces. Let's see what we have in these chests. Alright, so cool. Just a bunch of resources. That suits me fine. And then what we will do is we're just gonna... Okay. So these are the abilities that I can do right now. when we get into battle, or what approximates battle. This dude is a lumberjack, and so he will collect wood from this forest here. When I create him, we'll do 2 lumberjacks. Well, do I want to? No, you know what? I don't want to do lumberjacks. Theoretically, that's how lumberjacks would work, though. What we are going to do is we are going to set this shit on fire. And I can do that because I currently am the youth. I'm a Ute. To reference a 30-year-old movie. Fucking hell. My cousin Vinny, if you don't know. So that's my class, kind of. I'm the youth, and what the youth does is they burn shit down, apparently. So any tile that gets destroyed by these fires that I've just set by choosing this is going to get me some money. And the fire is going to spread, so potentially we could be looking at big bucks here. I think, you know, what we'll do is we are going to collect some wood. Normally, if I were to send one of my lumberjacks out, excuse me, while these fires are blazing, they would just get burnt up immediately. But I can make this forest tile safe by using my water power. So there's, see, we got rain pouring on that forest tile, and now I can actually get a couple of lumberjacks. Let's do 2 for right now. That should be good. That'll allow us to get a bunch more wood, which we can use to trade for other resources and money and things. So let's go. Commence battle. So we see the time ticking down. My dudes are harvesting wood. Fires are burning. Just got a coin for burning down that field. This is going to take longer to burn. Actually, it might not spread. It looks like I might only get 2 coins out of this. Yeah. Maybe not even 2. There we go. Okay. Yeah, not enough time for those other ones to burn down. So, still, not too bad. Got 17 wood now. Got a couple extra coins. So, that's success. A successful run. Now, we're on to the next battle. Time has progressed a little bit. When we get to, I think, 9 o'clock, that's when we're going to be facing off against this dude. He's a dragon. He is potentially going to burn everything down, but the nice thing about being the youth class is that I'm resistant to fire, so he can eat shit if we make it that far, which we realistically probably will not do. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Looks like what we want to really go for is food here. So yeah, best bet is this map. And it's also good because we'll have a shop, which means we can buy additional units that we can send out to defend ourselves. So a good pick all around, I think. Alright, so you can see what I was saying earlier. These are the enemy forces on the timeline. And so as it ticks down, this guy will pop out first. And we can actually see if we I say we, the royal we. If we right-click on the tile that the dude is in, it'll show us that this tile is where this guy's going to come out of. So that's further down, that's okay. Yeah, these guys are pretty early in the timeline, so let's get rid of them. Perfect. So I matched their tile, they're gone, they're taken out of the loop. Yeah, okay, so the guy that... Oh, this guy's stuck. He can't... The enemies can't go across water unless it's like a bird or other flying enemy, so this dude is effectively trapped there, so we don't need to worry about him coming to get us. Let's just take care of this guy. There's the shop. for us to buy stuff from, so that's good. And this guy might be a problem. So let's put some distance between us. Actually, oop. That was a stupid thing to do. That was a very stupid thing to do, because now we have more enemies on the board, and these guys are now free from their prison. Shit. Okay. That's fine. It's gonna be fine. So this... So let's get rid of these three. Okay, good. Now, if we can get this tile all the way down here, we'll be in a pretty good spot to get rid of both of these dudes. Can I make any move that will get that closer? Can't do that because they'll be too far away to match. So let's just move our castle a bit to try to get away from these dudes. Fuck. Okay. Should have seen that coming. Oh boy. So do this, that, not match. That's good. Do this, still good. And last move we'll do this, and that gets us a good distance away from everybody, so I think we should be fine now too. Let's take a look at this sign. Stop sign, okay. So, I mentioned before that this game is very goofy. And basically, I'm running a fairy court. I've been declared the queen of the fairy court, and the fairies don't believe that cars are real. But they somehow have a bunch of traffic-related signs all over their kingdom. And so I'm going to bet that they are going to have an interesting interpretation of what this stop sign means. A powerful command. This is Robin, one of our advisors. Best if we comply. This is, I think, hop? But what are we going to stop? What are we to stop? To be on the safe side, let's assume all of it. The two of them go rigid, falling to the ground near you. Oh no, what tragedy! It is only through my frequent habit of averting my gaze that I am spared of this curse that now afflicts our queen and her subjects. To your knowledge, you are not under the effects of any curses. Your Majesty, how can it be? Even your greatest minds have yielded to the spell. Does he mean the stop sign? He explained that the sign is for directing the traffic and that it should not impact the regular movements of pedestrians. So it is your faith in cars that protects you? How magnificent. I've never heard of such a thing. But alas, your subjects do not believe in cars. What is to become of them compelled to stop in such a way? You look at the two on the ground, puzzled. Try explaining that vehicles compelled by the sign to stop are not actually required to remain stopped. Instead, they are permitted to move again after coming to a, loosely defined, complete stop. Upon hearing this, the fairies on the ground relax and breathe again. Of course, the sign only stipulates stops, singular. If it wished us to remain stopped, it would obviously say stops. We must thank Her Majesty for removing this curse. I would never come to that conclusion on my own. I. So, again, goofy as shit. Okay, and we lifted a curse. On this day, the Queen of Titanium Court did unburden her people of the curse of petrification, and there was jubilation. Okay. So we're killing it, basically. Okay. Alright, so let's take a look at this shop. Welcome to the shop. If you want to sell, then tap on your own stuff down below. Alright, so we got Flamin' Hot Archers. Offensive Fairy attacks the enemy from a distance with fire. Let's buy them. So this doesn't actually put anybody on the battlefield, it just lets us bring them into play. We have to spend 3 food and 1 wood to actually produce that archer. Okay, now we have no money left, but we can... Yikes, they want 5 pieces of food and only get a single coin? That's fucking exorbitant. I guess we're just getting the archer. I mean, let me take a look. Is there anything... What are these dudes? Working Fairy gathers stone from hills. That's good, but not... We've got plenty of stone right now, so that's not a priority. Sidestep. That's a good spell. It lets us move the castle after we've exited the match 3 stage. You know, since we're not going to be fighting too much, maybe we should No, you know, we're going to need to fight eventually. We're going to keep the archers. Okay. Let's just do this. Now... Okay. This guy is going to have enough time to make it up here. So is this guy. So we definitely need to buy at least... Let's do 2 archers. We'll just do a single lumberjack here. Alright, let's go. So this guy's coming to get us. Here he comes. This guy's coming to get us too. Okay. Guys, move, for fuck's sake. No. This guy is... Oh my god, idiots. Okay. Narrowly avoided disaster there. It wouldn't have been that bad if he'd started attacking us. We've got 40 hit points, but still. Alright, that went pretty good, actually. I didn't think about the archers setting things on fire for me, so we netted quite a bit of money there. That's very good. Feeling very eloquent today. Okay, so yeah, food I think is what we want to prioritize here. So, food, getting another shop, that's good. Boats and goons, those are both not too difficult to deal with. So, boats. So these guys are only going to be able to move onto water tiles, these boats, obviously. Makes sense, right? Boats aren't going to be driving on land. These people don't even know about cars. No way are they going to be able to get a car, a land boat developed. Although it does raise the question of like how they have boats and not cars. It seems like those two would be pretty closely aligned in terms of production. I don't know what I'm saying, dude. Obviously, I'm just talking. Alright, so moving the the castle there lets us match these three. So take out. Okay, took out that dude, but then it brought another castle with a different dude into play. So that's a wash. Let's get away from. Well, let's not do that just yet. Let me see if I can bring these two water tiles all the way down somehow. That's. Let me get rid of. Nope. Shit. Okay. Oh, that's right. They match with castles. Fuck. Okay. Well, I did get the boat further away from me at least, so that's an inadvertent plus. Let's just do this. That'll get us some food. It will bring the dude closer to us, but that's okay. We can just build some archers to kill. Okay, so he's very close to us now. Let's move here, and then let's move here. I mean, these guys aren't going to be able to do anything to me, so I don't need to worry about matching those tiles to get rid of those gunboats, but let's do it this way, so at least we get rid of that dude. And again, we create another dude to come get us. Perfect. Just what I wanted to happen. Wanted to have happen. Alright, well... Let's get some more wheat. Do this. Yeah. Let's do a whole lot. Boop. So we got like one move left. Let's just do a hopefully safe move by matching these three wheat. Yeah, that worked out okay. Not ideal, but okay. Alright, so got a storage unit. Nothing. I wonder... Oh, okay. So that's a way that I can keep units that I've purchased from previous runs if I feel like I'm gonna lose, which I will at some point definitely lose. That's very cool. Okay. That way I don't have to buy this guy again the next time I start over from scratch. So, very good. Let's take a look at what we have in the shop. Make our own gunboats. Archer, we don't need that necessarily. Dragon's Cough. Raise the tiles above you one at a time. Interesting. It'd be a good way to get money for sure, but I'm doing okay with the archers and my own ability to set fires as it is. This dude will let us get stone from hills. We can always sell them off. You know, I've only got the one offensive unit. Let's go ahead and buy the gunboat. We have to place them on water, but we've got water. Yeah, right. We've got water right there, so that should not be a problem. And, okay, so boats. We're doing okay for wood, so we don't need to make any lumberjacks necessarily. Let's make one archer, just to be safe. I've got a lot of water, so let's just, let's do a lumberjack anyways. We'll do 2 lumberjacks, it's fine. Can't hurt. Excellent. So take a little damage, but that's nothing to be too worried about. That's pretty good for it being 3 o'clock. To only have lost 4 hit points. So let's see. Again, we're still in need of food. So no woods. We get chests, birds and goons. It's not too bad. This would be pretty good. So nothing special about the map, but it does have a market which we could use to trade in some of these surplus resources to get money. Not a bad idea. Forest, it's got a hospital, that's pretty good. Because we can use that to heal ourselves, which you don't need to worry about that too much, but we can also get, like, an additional... We can bump up our maximum health, and there's usually some other special thing we can get from a hospital, so that's not a bad choice. I don't necessarily want to fight centaurs, though, is the thing. Birds are kind of a pain in the ass, too. Okay, we'll go with the hospital. Alright. Oh, and I've got the egg, too. Okay. We'll get to the egg in a second. It does not go well, usually, for me when I pick the egg. So, let's start by getting a little distance from that centaur. Can we move him a little further down the board? And... hang on a sec. So, apologize for clearing my throat so much. I am trying to be more cognizant of all the mouth sounds that I make and try to dial it back. It is something that I am quite aware of, believe me. So, apologize if that grosses you out. I will do my best to avoid making mouth sounds when possible. So I was gonna say, I think in a previous video I mentioned that I would be doing sponsorships. This is it's not a paid sponsorship. It's more like I'm advertising products, and given the quality of these videos, if somebody wants me to stop advertising, they're gonna need to cough up money. So again, haven't heard from PepsiCo since that last video that I made about this. So we're again revisiting the wonders of zero sugar Mountain Dew Baja Cabo Citrus Tropical Citrus Punch. It just rolls right off the tongue. That's what I like the most about this. I mean, aside from the wonderful taste, of course. Let me just get this opened up, this bad boy. Oh yeah. And okay, took a sip. Now now I'm ready to do some serious gaming. It's my gamer fuel, as they say. Again, PepsiCo, $20,000. You know how to reach me. Okay, so let's... That's... Okay, not great. Not great. Let's try to get away from you dudes. Let's see if we can. So we don't want to match these because I don't want to lose the hospital. It doesn't really look like there's any way to get him lower, down on the board currently, so let's just... Obviously we don't need wood, but let's just do this so that we move a little further away. And then... Let's see. Need food, so this. That. Nope, that was dumb. That was dumb. What was I thinking? Okay, so we do have a bit of a barrier between this guy now in our court. Alright. save, and then let's do this as a final move just to get a little further away. Okay, what's going on in the hospital? I do not have very much money currently, so... Alright. So if I had 8 coins, I'd be able to bump up to have 50 hit points rather than 40. Instead, I could potentially get surgery, which, let's actually pause for a second. So I'm going to probably put this video up pretty quickly after I record it. Maybe I'm recording it on Tuesday, the 28th, and so I might try to get this up today. I am a week out, just about, from going to get colonoscopy. And do you know about that? Do you know, like, they put a, I don't want to say where they put a camera. It's not, not safe for work, but, like, look it up. Google colonoscopy and you'll find out and you'll be like, what? Why would... Anyway, I'm going in for a colonoscopy, next week on Wednesday, and I am a bit anxious about it. Like, I've had gut problems and they've been checked out by other doctors and they didn't find anything, like, wrong necessarily, anything that was super alarming, but I've had problems for pretty much my entire adult life, and so I'm like, I'd rather not get this procedure done, but I'm an adult. I need to be responsible, so I need to do the real thing. Like, they gave me the option of doing the whatever Cologuard test, which is similar to what I had done a couple of years ago, and it was fine. But I think, you know, colon cancer is on the rise, man. It's troubling. So it's best that I do the proper, thorough investigation. But man, I don't want to. I do not friggin' want to. So yeah, my anxiety is a bit high, higher than normal right now. The reason I mention all this, partially because of the surgery there that we just had the option to do in the game, but also because I'm going in for this procedure, and like you know, have been pretty blessed to not have had any serious medical problems my entire life. Like the only thing, I went in to get my wisdom teeth removed when I was 18, and that was the last like intensive procedure I've had done. So I've had a pretty good streak of not needing to have like any serious medical attention. Aside from, well, I did dislocate my shoulder that one time that I had to go to the ER for, but that's, you know, not, it could have been worse, for sure. Yeah, and so, anxiety, not doing great. That's why I'm probably a little more disjointed than normal, and apologies for that. What I may end up doing next Tuesday, I've scheduled to take it off from work, and I'm thinking that I may actually do a live stream to help kind of calm my nerves. So I don't want to commit to it 100%. I'll maybe post something on the YouTube page the closer we get to Tuesday to see if I'm actually up for it. But I think I might do like a long Twitch stream on Tuesday to take my mind off things, and I'll be going through my prep for the colonoscopy too, so that'll be a fun thing to live stream, right? I'm not doing the sludge. I don't have to drink the, whatever, 4 pints of terrible tasting sewage or whatever it is. Thankfully, I'm doing the pill regimen. So it should be pretty painless aside from me needing to be on the toilet for a good portion of the day, I suspect. Or be within close proximity to a toilet at the very least. So yeah, stay tuned. I might be streaming a bit, and if I do stream and you want to come in and hang out, great. Don't come in and say shit like, yeah, man, I got a colonoscopy one time and I died. I'm dead. It killed me. So be warned. Like, don't come in and say shit like that, please. No bummers is the perennial rule, I think, for it should be for most things really, but especially in this case, no bummers. All right. So don't need to do anything for the hospital here. The egg. Okay, the egg. I can't. Yeah, I can't do anything with that. It's too close to the centaurs. They will destroy it immediately. But theoretically, what I could do is if the egg were closer to me and further away from these guys, I could kind of take the egg on as a defensive project, and I would get a bonus for doing it. Sometimes it's like stuff like getting your health completely refilled, you can get money, or can get like a big surplus of a certain good. So it's a kind of a risky proposition, but a pretty good payout. And the penalties aren't always that bad. You can kind of mitigate the penalties to an extent. So, but again, if I chose to defend it this time, it would be destroyed immediately, and I would be penalized. So it's like I'm not gonna waste any of my effort on that when it's a guaranteed L. Okay, but we'll just see. Once again, you have the option of picking up a football, which is what they think the eggs are, with the understanding that you will receive a penalty if it's destroyed. Since your current job involves burning down the battlefield, you may not be in a position to adequately care for the football. All the same, the decision is yours to make. So like, I could get money, I could restore full health, I could get a bunch of food. That would be nice, but I could also get a bunch of stone. But none of those. Actually, this seems like too big of a commitment. Let's not take the ball. Shepherding the football to victory seems like too much responsibility for you right now, so you decline. Well, that's fine too. I'll be here until the battle starts. Let me know if you change your mind. Not gonna change my mind. Okay, what are we doing? Let's put storm there. Do one lumberjack, and then one archer, and one. Do you want to just do one? Let's do two boats. Why not? Better to be safe than sorry. Like everybody says, the colonoscopy. Oh, my words are not coming to me clearly today. Everybody says that the colonoscopy is actually no big deal. The prep is the worst part. So I'm hoping that that's going to be true. I'm going to just work under the assumption that it is. But that does not stop me from being anxious, because that's just how my brain is wired. Okay, so that went pretty good. It's getting late in the day, 5 o'clock. Okay, so we, as always, need some food. What do we got here? We've got a shop. Not great. And ideally, I prefer to get a market if we have one as an option. And we do not. Okay, so we're gonna go this. Wormholes are pretty tame, so that should be okay. So what we do not want to do, for sure. Oh, cool. We have the ocean police here. We do not want to match any of the enemy castles with this, because that makes the dudes multiply number, and I think it makes them tougher too. So let's start by getting rid of these dudes. Getting rid of these dudes. That's not gonna set off a chain reaction, I think. Okay, good. Now, let's do here. Let's do this. Then, sweet. This. That shouldn't create anything too crazy. Reactions. Perfect. And can't get rid of this guy the way things are right now, but we can put some distance and some water between us. And let's just go ahead and take this and run out the clock and do that. Okay, so let's take a look. So we've got potion. You consider returning to the potion shop for more love potions. Yes, please. The glass house on the battlefield once again, you consider purchasing additional love potions. Your justification for doing so is as follows. First, you were unable to return home when you recently brought the court to victory. According to what the salesman told you, this implies that you have yet to undergo enough change as a person. But despite it being insufficient for the purpose, your experience with the potion of liking baseball. Okay, that's going to need some explanation. So, when the concept of potions was first introduced in the game, they were trying to set my mind at ease because they're like, potions are real, they're very effective, and I'm like, well, I don't know if we want to be using potions then, guys, right? That seems like that could be pretty bad. Could have some serious things. And so to set my character's mind at ease about the potential dangers of potions, they came up with a potion that had low stakes, and the potion they decided to have me experience for the first time was the potion of liking baseball. So they took me aside and they gave me the potion, and they're like, "Hey, drink this potion. It'll just make you like baseball a little bit more than you did before." And so that's been kind of a recurring gag. It's like, "Oh, yeah, you just think about like hitting home runs now sometimes, just out of the blue." Ah, God, this game is good. This game is so good.
Hey everybody, my name is AP Thompson.
Again, this is the guy that made
as
the game.
you might have figured out already,
Turn
the venue
game audio
is
up.
kinda double booked for the evening.
And I'm going to turn my audio down.
But don't worry, me and the other performers, we found a way to combine our acts into one. All it took was invoking the forbidden alchemy of adding lyrics to ballet. Assuming that you'll allow us this one minor transgression, then this is a song that is told from the perspective of one ballerina about another ballerina. It's called They Become Friends in Season 2. Now back to her feet, the feet of my nemesis. And no, he is always hogging the center and always
This game is so
interrupting
fucking
the
goofy.
teacher.
I'm going to turn the sound. I'm going to turn my sound down here.
Wasting her time and mine. 'Cause anyone can see the way she holds her ankle, it's dangerous, ugly and wrong. And I think I would rather die than be that dangerous, ugly and wrong. Now I've got to give her some credit. She's not completely without merit. For instance, she...
Just pausing for a second to say this game is so fucking ridiculous. I love it. Alright, back to the song.
can do a split due to her time doing gymnastics. But just because you're flexible does not mean you know how to move. And you can't just match the keyframes when you also need the tweens. And I think she isn't ready for those shoes. 'Cause the way she stretches out her ankle, it's dangerous, ugly and wrong. And can you believe she quit her job to be dangerous, ugly and wrong? Now you might think that I should just worry about myself, but you misunderstand. I'm just worried for her health. 'Cause if she keeps on going at that speed, she's gonna hurt herself. And that would be partly on me. Because we started at the same time in the same place, and I took off at full speed, and now I think that she thinks that she is keeping pace. But the way she's chasing after my shadow, it's dangerous, ugly and wrong. And I don't wanna be the one who's gotta tell her she's dangerous, ugly and wrong. Thank you.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so it kind of feels like that's not to criticize AP Thompson's singing or songwriting skills, but it feels like they are trying to punish us for choosing that option rather than doing the fight. But what are you gonna do? With the alternative entertainment now concluded, you and the court proceed with your evening. With the war now behind you, you encounter a memorial dedicated to its victims. Memorial to those fallen in the war, casualties 9. Now, having expended much of its energy during the day, the court retires to bed. Aww. Okay, I think that is a good point to wrap it up for this video. Apologies for the fuck up with the editing. Hopefully in post, I'll fix it in post. Hopefully that's not too bad of a screw up, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna dwell on it. You know, mistakes were made. So, yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom. See you later.